I just saw the fifth episode of House of the Dragon season 3, and this episode again, a whole lot of nothing is going on. A lot of talking, a lot of planning, a lot of people just being there, I guess. And while that wouldn't be a problem, there is some interesting stuff going on in this episode. Again, the lack of action, it is disappointing. I mean, we got action at the end of the first episode with the Battle of the Gullet, but since then we got a nothing, and now we're 5 episodes in. So, and we do see some battles that might have happened, but we don't really see it happening, and that's the problem. Now, in the beginning of this episode, Kristen Cole's army planned a night attack to take out some of the Riverland army and the Stark army, which is huge. But we don't really see much of that either, apart from them setting fire to some tents. And then there's stuff with Helena. Now, apparently she's pregnant, and that's a problem. And Alison doesn't want her to kill the child because that child, Rhaenyra is not gonna be able to let that child live with the risks of it being a potential rival to her. So she wants Helena to get rid of it, but she doesn't want to. And that's a problem that's going on there. And then there's some stuff with the City Watch. Members of the City Watch are being killed by some people. Nobody knows who. And Damon's still concerned about it. He wants to find out who's doing it because it's his men and he is responsible. And then there's Aegon. Now, Aegon and what was his name? Laris. They're both still wandering around, and they run into one of the Lannister twins. The one probably from the Gullet. Well, actually, it is from the Gullet because the other one's dead. From the Gullet, he survived, and they meet up with him, and they're talking about what to do now with him. And then there's Bela and Adam. They're searching for Vhagar, trying to find it. Bela still feels guilty about what happened with Rhaenyra's son, so she wants to try and make some amends. And then Alicent tries to escape with Helena because she knows that they're not going to be safe there when Rhaenyra finds out about the baby. So they try to escape, but Mysaria runs into them and she stops them. And then Alicent convinces Mysaria to not tell Rhaenyra about any of this. And by doing that, she'll get favor with the High Towers. And Mysaria agrees with her. Well, I guess she doesn't exactly say anything, she just walks out. So I guess she's siding with them as well, which objectively I guess is probably a good move in case that they do end up winning or something. But that's what happens there. And then there's Aemon. Aemon's at Harrenhal with the witch. And he's having nightmares about Aegon and all that. And there are bounty hunters who show up to find Aemon, thinking he's there. And the witch, Alice Rivers, I think, she was the first group off, but the second group, they try to attack her, and Aemon finally gets up and he takes them all down, even though he is injured. So he's better now. I'm guessing he'll be in good shape by the next episode. And then at the end of the episode, the members of the City Watch, the main member that we know, I forgot his name. There are too many names in the series. So the main member, now at the end of the episode, we see Daemon walking down a dark room with a lamp, and he sees the main member of the City Watch along with the rest of his team sitting at a table, and they're all dead, and the setting looks like the one from the Last Supper. It gave me that kind of vibe. Well, not that kind of vibe exactly, but they're dead. But still, it gave me something like that, and that's how it ends. And it says, "Feast for traders," I think. So yes, the group that's operating inside King's Landing took them out, and taking that many men out means that they probably have a lot of power inside the capital. And oh yeah, I forgot, in the middle of the episode we find out that the people who are doing this actually is supporters of Daeron Targaryen, the youngest Targaryen, who's under the High Tower watch, and that they are the ones who are actually doing this. So that's all that happens in this episode. Not enough action. Oh yeah, we also find out that Christian Cole's trying trying to get his army wiped out. He doesn't care about who wins or who loses anymore. He just wants to control his own fate. So he's marching in to fight the Stark and Riverland army, which is 200 times their size, and they're gonna get wiped out easily. But he's gonna do it anyway. And it says, and he's talking about it being his choice, but honestly, if it's his choice and he doesn't want to be controlled anymore, why would he just march the army forward? I mean, then he's actually doing the High Tower's work. Wouldn't it be more logical for him to just abandon the whole thing and go to Essos or something like everyone else who's done with Westeros? But yeah, he's planning on doing that. And that's not gonna end well unless the dragon shows up, Aemon shows up somewhere. They're gonna get wiped out. It's not gonna be a. They're not gonna have a chance. So, yeah, that's all that happens in this episode, and I guess stuff does happen. Although at this point we needed one more big battle. I feel like we need at least 3 big battles in the season, but we haven't gotten one, and we're 5 episodes in, and there's only 3 episodes left. So I'm guessing we'll only get one big battle, probably at Tumbleton or something. But yeah, overall, another episode that isn't giving us enough.